Miami Dolphins need to blow things up. They need to start fresh. Look, this is not a Super Bowl caliber team, and more specifically, this is not a Super Bowl caliber quarterback. And at the end of the day, if you don't have one of those guys, you just can't get it done. There's a fringe section. You got guys like CJ Stroud, you got guys like Jordan Love, you got guys like Matthew Stafford, and he's already won one, but I mean at his age. There's a few fringe guys that if everything breaks right, they get on a little bit of a hot playoff run, they can win it. But for the most part, 8, maybe 10, at the absolute maximum, we can go to 12. Tua is not in that group. He's not in that group. You've got guys like Mahomes, like Hurts, like Stafford, who have won Super Bowls. You've got guys like Jackson, Allen, Burrow, probably Herbert, probably Stroud, probably Love, maybe Kyler Murray, probably not Kyler Murray, Jaden Daniels. You got those guys. If you weren't just named, you don't have the potential to do it. And it's unfortunate. I think Tua is a nice guy. I don't call for him to be fired. I hope he has a great career. I hope he makes a lot of money. I hope he proves me wrong. I really do. But look, the Dolphins have been doing this for too long. 1, maybe 2 years. If you play a full 30, well, now it's 17-game season, so 34. If you play 34 games, we know if you can win a Super Bowl. At the end of the day, we know. You don't need to go on a Super Bowl run. You don't even need to make the playoffs. After 2 seasons, we know. Look, Bryce Young, another nice guy, sweet guy. He can't get it done. Caleb Williams, he's in the first half of his second season, so maybe he'll prove me wrong. Doesn't look like he can get it done. Dak Prescott, he's been playing for 10 years. Doesn't look like he can get it done. Daniel Jones, Geno Smith, Sam Darnold. Look, if you were going to show you're a Super Bowl caliber quarterback, and you don't need to win a Super Bowl, I want to be clear. A lot of these guys that have Super Bowl potential have not won a Super Bowl. They have not made a Super Bowl. We know Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen can do it. Nobody would scoff at the fact if either one of those guys won the MVP, won the Super Bowl MVP, won the Super Bowl. Nobody would be stunned. Even probably Justin Herbert, Jordan Love. Nobody would be stunned. Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold, Tua, Dak, Geno Smith. Do we really think any of those guys are going to win a Super Bowl? Even a Brock Purdy. I hate to say, because Brock Purdy, he's probably the best quarterback, excuse me, that can't win a Super Bowl. Brock Purdy's right there. If he gets a little bit better, maybe we can consider him in a fringe category if everything breaks right. Tua is not in that category. Tua is not in that category. If everything breaks right, if he stays healthy, if his teammates play great, if all the rookies hit, if he gets a good schedule, if the ball bounces right, if the referees make the right calls, they still can't get it done. And that's just the reality of it. Look, the earlier you see that, the better. And they're on the hook for him. They paid him. They thought he was good enough to win it. I disagreed, and I was correct. It's as simple as that. And look, NFL teams, you should not be paying guys that cannot win you a Super Bowl. It's that simple. It's that simple. Look, these NFL teams, the Seahawks, the Raiders, the Colts aren't paying Daniel Jones that much, so maybe go on a wild card, see what happens there. But I don't think paying guys makes sense. I don't think once you've seen they cannot win a Super Bowl, you got to draft. You got to draft and see if you can hit. And that's the earlier the Dolphins realized that before they blow this team up, they trade Waddle, they trade Hill, they trade Tua maybe. You got to blow this operation up and swing again. You got to swing. Look, you cannot hit a home run if you don't swing. That's just the reality. You need a home run. To win the Super Bowl, you need a home run. You can hold the bat, maybe get to first base. Getting to first base and striking out's the same thing. You didn't win the game. You got to win the game. If you're playing in the NFL, if you're a general manager in the NFL, your goal is to win a Super Bowl. And Tua gives you a 0% chance to do that. I would rather draft a random dude, Jackson Dart. Is Jackson Dart or Tua better? Tua is probably better for this season. Jackson Dart's ceiling we don't know about. Even go with Joe Milton. Those guys we don't know about. They're a rookie. They could be great. They could be bad. They'll probably be somewhere in the middle. We know what Tua's ceiling is, and it wasn't good enough. If you've got a guy like Tua, see if you can trade him, maybe cut him, and start taking big swings. Because if you want to win a Super Bowl, you need to take big swings.